Hello everyone, welcome back to Wildermyth. We join our group here in Chapter 1 of Campaign 3. We have just formed Muffin Co, our Adventurers Guild, and are heading to clear out the deepests through this area right up to the pass at Wildermyth door. So before we get going, we have a few options here. We can actually recruit someone to join Muffin Co for 3 legacy points. Or we can use our legacy points to craft some armor or weapons. So what I'm kind of thinking is, I think I want to spend the points on some armor for Brian, because you know he's new to this whole thing, and I feel like some armor would do him well. So let's get him this Ember Gown. A common design for clumsy and novice-level mystics who appreciate the fire-resistant properties of these treated fabrics for the ancient riddled pursuit of their work. We will actually trade our legacy points for Brian to get some new armor, and we will recruit someone later. I figure since we're just getting started, we're okay sort of with the 3 of us for now, and we'll go from there, so... Here we go. Brian has been upgraded, and now we can travel to Krala Blind, right next door to Weird Chapel. While we're here, we can secure Krala Blind, and we are going to investigate thoroughly and catalog everything. Secure site complete. Thorough delving through the mysteries of Krala Blind has proven rewarding. Krala Blind will return to the hands of the common folk, and while they tend it, this site will provide resources at the end of each chapter. Heartwoods and hides. We also found a Tiger Shard ring, which gives us melee accuracy. So I'm going to give that to Kemi. And so goes our first month as Muffin Co. we secured Krala Blinds and built an outpost here, so I feel like that's pretty good work for our first month of adventuring. But for now, we're gonna go to the Proudfields. Or, I guess that wasn't a month, that was a full season, actually. I didn't realize it goes by season. So we spent a whole month securing the previous outpost, and then we spent all summer scouting this area. So, not a bad way to spend a spring and summer, I think. Okay, here's something you won't see underground, says Tallara. Never knew about this place. Not many do. Just makes you want to dance in the water, doesn't it? Do whatever a newt does. All day and never come out again. Can I ask you a serious question? The cult, the deepests. You don't look like one of them. In fact, they don't look like anyone I've ever seen. Can you explain that? Oh. Falling streams rush, splash, and sing. Tadpoles flute aimlessly round in the clear water. Older frogs are scarce and furtive. I saw it happen. By the time I'd been down there for 2 days, you lose track. There was someone else. Winloff. Winloff was his name. Earlier arrival, he was all ready for the ceremony. Took his oaths. The oaths I took, I can't remember them. I ate a mushroom of some kind. Fell asleep. Your oaths are completed when you awaken from them. Winloff went before me. He consumed what they gave him, and he went into the Chamber of Dreams to sleep. He was in there a day or so, and then a pair of priests went in, and I could hear... I'm not sure. The man who came out had Winloff's body and face, but different. Warped, pulled, whittled at. Could barely speak. Skin had gone strange. Pigments leached and blued and weirded. He did as he was bidden. Ate when he was bidden. You saw all that? You were going to let them do it to you? My choices were gone by that point. The only hope was through. And by through, you mean... Deepening as a process is how it was explained to me. While Winloff took a step back to his blank and more primitive state, it was only in order to prepare him for his descent, and as he lowered himself, his mind would be reborn. Better, deeper, more powerful, blessed by the Prophet, and he would be embraced, valued, loved by his brethren all. It's like graduating from one stage to another. Growing up, or down, I suppose. The noise of these delicate falls isn't loud enough. Their dampened skins and clothes feel cold, fingers numb, blue. Time to go? Right, yes. Come on, Brian. There's so many wonders left to see. Things to learn and study and be confounded by. Coming. So the Deepists are turning people into more Deepists. They're creating more of their own, which is interesting. Sure, we'll learn more about that. Let's build an outfitter here in the Proud Fields grasslands. Spookum Outfitter has been established. Now we can move forward into the Clanweald. Deepists are infesting this tile, so it looks like we're going to get some action if we head up this way. And we got some calamities. All of these extra bonuses are being added. Unfortunately, we don't have any legacy points to cancel them, so it is what it is. Things get stronger. Clanweald has been revealed, and here we have a place called Ebore's Records, which is occupied by lurking Deepists. So let's clear it out. Attack! Might get some wood for the fire. You're going to be up longer? Brian's already turning in. It must be tiring, you know, being Brian. Someone's got to be Brian. Might as well be Brian. Anyway, want company? Don't feel obliged. I won't be interesting. Just awake. Rattle, clunk. More wood. Oh, thanks. The fire wriggles through the fresh wood, happy as a mud dog. Tallara's eyes grow tired. She begins to see things. Flickerings of deepest thought. The fire blinks blue, its peaks become horns and outstretched arms. Tallara watches a young person, not so unlike herself, leave a lighted life behind. The damp isn't pleasant, but the cuisine is strangely compelling. And who doesn't like joining a song? Maybe the intention wasn't to lose herself at first, but fate creeps in like a fungus. And before you know it, all sorts of stuff has grown onto you. Tallara suddenly realizes she has no idea how much time has passed. Deepest on the brain tonight. Rightly so, turns out. Thick whispers blow in through the trees. Fush! Kemi! Brian! Bleary eyes strain to see beyond the dying light. And it's time to attack! Alright. We must kill all the enemies. So, the only two we can see right now are these two guys, but I'm sure there's many more over this way. So, we're not going to overextend ourselves. We'll send Tallara to deal with these guys. Emmy will deal with these guys, and Brian can use magic for the first time. Interfuse with this ruined arch, and discus the kids. There are the other enemies I was expecting. Okay, we'll get Kimmy to stand his ground for right now. Move Brian up and interfuse with this chair. We'll then... Oh, we can't quite reach, so we'll wait on that. Splinter blast it. Oh, wow, he moved a lot further than I thought. So actually, maybe we can't splinter blast it. We'll see. Okay. Splinter Blast. No. Okay. So let's withdraw then from the chair. And interfuse instead with this step ladder. We will then Splinter Blast. There we go. Tallara will move back. Amy will attack this guy. Oh my god, did I hurt myself with that bone lance? I didn't realize it would pierce right through. Oh my goodness, okay. Be careful, Brian. Okay, well let's not do that again. Oh no, if we do it this way, we won't get hit. Yeah, there we go. Just hit the tent. Nice. Woohoo! There we go. Wasn't too bad. We found link mail, which is actually the exact same thing that Kemi is already wearing. So we will actually just salvage it. We also found a brooch of chivalry, which we will give to Kemi to give him some extra armor. The last of the orange light sinks into its embers. Tallara remembers her earlier reveries and tucks them away. The next day, they scour Ebore's records. Scraped up but empty. Maybe they all smelled us last night and came running. It was a long march yesterday. Anyway, a lot of work to be done. Deepists have improved their strategy, unfortunately for us. The decks are getting thick early on, but we will secure the records, investigate thoroughly to hopefully try to find an item. And what did we get? Heartwoods and Spellthreads, as well as a Talisman of Grace, which I'm going to give to Brian. Gonna hang that ancient charm around his waist. Okay. So, I thought we'd be able to just get right here, but it seems it's still locked. It says clear the lands all the way to the mountain pass at Whitelith door, and I thought that meant just sort of one path, but I think it means all of the paths. So I think we might also need to go to Jorwoods and Gurwoods. And maybe Narrowcliffs, but we'll see. Okay, so for now, let's go to Gurwoods. Gurwoods has been revealed, and so it has the Grimgrade Smelter, which is occupied actually by Thrixel. A new type of enemy. What was the guy's name we're supposed to keep an eye out for? Kimbe, I think. Kimbe. From what I know of forest folk, they normally spread themselves out over the landscape. Maybe they secretly can't stand each other, who knows? These aren't exactly normal times, though. And his wife seemed concerned anyway. Of course she is. Old Kimbe seems distracted, starts spending more time out in the ruins, watching the goats. So he says. I'd be concerned too. Is that the story? Sometimes he wouldn't even come home at night. The lady seems at a loss. This relationship had some deep weeds in there. How do you get people to tell you these things? My trustworthy face and sensible outfit, how else? Clouds grow like lichen over the sky. They pick their way through the building bones until a shout rings out from close by. Come on, come on! Up the hill, a man stands against a monument. His gaze darts between the sky. Come on! and the shadows of approaching Thrixel. Get around him, quickly! Muffin Co. rushes towards the monument. Alright. It's us and Kimbe. A bunch of Thrixel. Cool. Kimbe, you're gonna stay back. Pew! Oh, they have magic too. Lots of magic. All of the magic. Literally all of the magic. Okay, lovely. But we have some magic too. Down goes one of them. Whoa, he can teleport. That's new. Nice. Okay, only one left. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for Muffin Co. Push it off, Kemi. Hell yeah! We got Doom of the Mountain, a tier 2 staff. It's your lucky day, Brian. There you go. We also got Fox Quartz knee pads, which we'll give to Tallara. The clouds begin to disperse, and Brian regards the man who is now rubbing his arms and staring at the ground. Kimbe? Do I know you? Your wife sends her regards. So what's the story? Watching the goats? The goats do like it here. Ah! They climbed the ruins. Oh my god, there actually were goats! Wow. Ah, brah! But it's not... When the force began to get more dangerous, I thought it might be time to finally use the Stormwell here. This? What is it? Surprised you haven't heard of it. This thing's been on the family land forever. Uncle said it was curing. We had stories that it could... This is gonna sound crazy, but... that it could give you power. My family are abysmal storytellers, see? Terrible imaginations. So I thought, maybe they're not just stories. Maybe I could, you know, protect the goats. And my wife, my Janala, if I could get a hold of that power. It takes research, some old family recipes, and time. Lots of time to get a Stormwell to give up its secrets. I didn't want to tell Janala. Rather, she came up with a story of her own. Better than the story of a goat herd trying to wear a hat 2 sizes too big for him. It's a shame, though. I needed maybe one more good storm. Clouds look promising today, and I thought I could finish the process before the monsters got here. No such luck. It was silly now that I've seen what fighting really is. I'm not cut out for it. Glad I never told Janala. So now you're going to count my goats and go home? Yeah. Unless one of you wants it. It's possible. Thunder stuff, huh? Sky's clearing now, but if you want to take me up on it, come back sometime. Ask for Kimbe Church. Janala, too. We'll feed you, put you up, give you otherworldly powers. Forest folk hospitality, you know? Meh! That is a tempting proposition, that's for sure. New card has been added to the Thrixel deck. I think we're gonna give Brian the power of the Stormwell. Because why not, right? So what we'll do is we'll send Tallara and Kemi to comb through the mess at Grimgrade's smelter to restore its purpose and luster. And then we will send Brian to go get the power of the Stormwell. Kimbe and Janala welcomed Brian and stuffed him full of bristleberry pie and goat cheese while they waited for a storm to roll in. Right, this is more like it. Janala, get your boots! You stay. Bah! Kimbe tinkered with the top of the Stormwell. Careful! Wonderful. Good sign. Almost there! You call us when you're ready. So, what'd you give up? 4? The whole heroing. You know, like your goats or your spouse, to name examples at random. Oh. I don't think about it like that. I think, what's out here to gain? What'll slip into the mists if old Brian doesn't get in there first? There's another Brian out there in a different time who maybe got some goats and a wife. Maybe he was happy. I'll never know his story, but this one's mine. Brian's musings are sharply interrupted. Crack! Kimbe! Whew! It's been a long flower to bloom, but it's quite pretty now, isn't it? Stormwell fills with light, or water, or both. It swirls and spills over the sides. Should have asked this before, but am I gonna have to fight something? Probably not. What happens now, then? Well, that wasn't in the stories. The ancient voices of the Tempest aren't telling you? So we've got 3 options. Take a drink, reach in, or step in. I'm gonna take a drink. Brian draws his face close to the water. Tiny flashes within it hold his gaze. Suddenly, it's obvious what he's supposed to do. Oop. How'd it taste? A little metallic, not great, honestly. You both okay? So, looks like Brian has been granted the power of Stormgaze. Brian's eyes flash ominously, and he is able to use a passive ability called Static Shock. Incoming melee damage has a 30% chance to deal 2 true damage to the attacker. Brian now contains the coiled power of a storm and has a cool face tat to prove it. Alright, awesome. Let's wait for the other 2 to finish. Actually, can we add Brian? Yeah, okay. We can add Brian now to make it go a little faster. Rather than him just waiting. Secure site complete. We got some bear strength bracelets, which we'll get to Tallara. And yeah, it looks like we do have to go to the Jorwoods and the Narrow Cliffs as well. If I had known that, obviously I would have did that before we came out this way, but that's fine. Just a little backtracking for us. We'll finish up clearing out all of the hostile sites on our next episode, and then hopefully we will be able to clear the lands all the way to the mountain pass and finish up Chapter 1. Thanks everyone so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time for another episode of Wildermyth.